I'm not quite finished with this styrofoam drawing for the sign. I just finished the front of this styrofoam drawing after spending primarily the morning. It was most intense during the noon to afternoon hours. After noon was when I had that Whopper, microwaved it for 1 minute and 20 seconds. I thought up of some more things. At one point, suddenly a burst of a bunch of different things. A falling safe. Drew in this attempt at a Huey, a weather balloon. A spaceship. Falling crate. Though I did the spaceship before I did the crate. Smoke on the chimney, a football, a shuriken. Last thing I drew in pretty much just now, this person on a bicycle going down the mountain. Pretty much drew that one in within the last half hour, as I had just this last section to color in. I used this Sharpie marker to color in the lower half, and this Sharpie marker to color in the top half of the sky. All I have left to do is to color in the back, for which I'm probably going to do a relatively simple landscape background, since the intent of this sign styrofoam drawing is to use it, take pictures of it, and then use it as a business card, aside from having it be my sign for my spot at the Emerging Artists Expo at the Cornhill Arts Festival. I also drew in this aircraft, the Millennium Falcon and a TIE Fighter. This again represents a shift from strict realism to essentially filling the space with different stuff in a sort of way to showcase what I can draw on styrofoam using Sharpie markers in that sort of sense. But I used a minimalist approach both for detail and color because this whole time I didn't want to detract from that Tyler Foam's text and that subtext in the middle of that styrofoam block. Dad made these potatoes. They were microwavable. I think he might have microwaved them or had them on the oven either way, he seasoned the steak so much that it made both him and I cough and sneeze. Whenever we were in the living room, because it was near the kitchen area. Pretty much right next door. When Dad got home around 5 to 5:30, he gave me some beef jerky, which even it turned out to be original flavor, but it was so flavorful. I initially thought it was, until I finished it and looked at it at the bag in the trash. I thought it was teriyaki flavored beef jerky or something to that effect. Around 6, was when I started having coffee, and I finished it around 9. Me thinking of stuff and drawing stuff in, that was from then until about 1 in the afternoon for the most part, with it at its most intense towards the end. As for essentially the hours from 3 to pretty much 9 p.m., those were the hours I colored in the sky on the front. Though I remember getting up earlier, possibly as early as 4, because I went to bed somewhat early last night. Well, this is some good asparagus. I got up as early as 4 in the morning by waking up naturally. But I didn't think I really started working seriously until about 6 in the morning. I'm thinking around the time I had that first cup of coffee and those 2 small mini muffins, blueberry flavor, Though honestly, that beef jerky, my best recollection of the brand was Jack something. I could have that beef jerky for breakfast with a cup of coffee. It was pretty good. I really enjoyed it when Dad got it out from the fridge. Hey, he hasn't replaced that bulb in the fridge yet, so it's all dark, which can give the impression that it's off at times, but it's still on. It's just that the lack of light at times makes it harder to see all the different food in the fridge. The potatoes and the sour cream are things Mom and I got from Wegmans a while back, some days ago. And while the cheese is something Dad got. I have no idea if he got that today or another day earlier, but what I do know is that he got the cheese himself at some point. Excuse me. For Queen's Blade Limit Break, I'm currently on level 47. Before 11 in the morning, when the time of the daily reset for this game, Queen's Blade Limit Break, there were some points in which I eagerly anticipated 11 a.m. coming. As I worked on the styrofoam drawing. And then both also before that point and since it, I have a habit of leaving the game in the background since it's an idle RPG. And repeatedly checking on it since in a sort of way, I want to make sure that I'm doing everything I possibly can to make my team stronger. I'm at that point now where I'm just waiting for the best 5-star beautiful warriors, as the game calls them, before I decide to do things like rank them up. And other things that would increase my power rating above the current 155,000 and a half that's currently at, but that take a lot of effort and resources to be able to do, so it's best to wait until I decide what the best heroes are to use before I do any of those sorts of things. I'm currently in the process of leveling up other 5-star heroes I have, our beautiful warriors, to level 100 to see if they can hit a higher power rating without any gear or a jewel than at least the weakest of my beautiful warrior team, which currently has runes, jewels, and gear all equipped. And if there's any replacements, then I'll simply switch around the gear, jewels, and runes. All of these things are removable. They're reversible. Ranking up heroes is not reversible. Not in that same sort of sense, anyway. I completed quite a few task sets today. I'm on my 51st one. Completed 50. Previous calculations tell me, this is the best one. It ended up giving me a whole bunch of knowledge points. I'm currently trying to get this daily exclusive while adhering to my rule of getting only the rings that give me the most starfish for the least seahorse food, essentially. So I can maximize my chances of being able to upgrade this evolvable building to level 10. Thanks to this method, I've already got it to level 6, though the last 4 stages will take a while to get to. I'm currently not able to activate any of the research technologies. Well, there's this one, but I should probably save that for when a task set requires me to activate a technology. And then I can't activate this one or this one. I don't have the necessary items for that. Though in a sort of sense, I would be happy to be able to upgrade my workshops. Though the next level workshops would have a pretty wonky shape to them, so I would probably have to either rearrange some stuff or get another city expansion in order to accommodate that those new workshop upgrades. I used a couple of those enchantments as part of completing an earlier task set. All my knowledge points currently go towards contributions to the ancient wonders of my fellowship members, since doing that in the end gives me runes for those corresponding ancient wonders, which is very useful for me as I intend to have a city with every single ancient wonder.